Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I stuffed my co-host like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Christ almighty. Like, you couldn't even land the dismount there, my guy. You just kind of barreled through and tripped at the end.
I went in with too much gusto, and then I was like, this is a questionable way to open the episode, but I'm here now. I am here. I'm doing it.
You walked into it, you started it off, you earned our explicit rating early. This is where we live now. Alright, Remington. We are now currently at the, we're like a third of the way through the fall season at this point.
Sure.
Yep, which means we finally have enough wiggle room to talk about anime that are currently airing.
Ooh, alright, dangerous.
Very dangerous. Because, as we are very much aware, there are a lot of mixed bags out there when it comes to talking about the new stuff, because inevitably there's going to be one or two shows that are very popular and very beloved, one or two shows that are very popular but all absolutely garbage, and a good amount of shows that are dog shit pieces of trash that nobody should really have to watch if they don't have to.
Sure.
The question is, Remington, what am I going to be showing you today?
That's always the terrifying question at hand.
Yep. And in prepping for this season's anime, I've watched a couple of things. And I want you to choose, Rem.
Oh, fuck. All right, here we go.
I've got 3 anime lined up that I think will be pretty good. And 2 of them are 100% from the season, whereas one of them is a kind of weird outlier exception.
Interesting.
But, yes. And we're going to keep it simple. I'm going to have you ask questions about them, and I will give you a response. Just keep it broad, keep it simple.
How many are there?
3. There are three episodes, and I'll give you. You know what? To keep it interesting, I'll give you 2 questions per show this time, since I'm not giving you really any information aside from that they are current seasonals asterisk.
Okay, all right. I'll do one common question to all of them,
okay,
and that'll be genre. I want all of their genre.
All their genres. Okay. Well, the first one's genre is comedy action.
Okay.
Second genre is comedy romance. And the third one genre is just, it's the thing that we've discussed many times. It's just broad strokes fantasy.
And no secret fourth option, huh?
No. Hey, man, if you want me to grab a 4th option from this list randomly, I will.
No, I don't trust that either. Anytime I try to push against the limitations, and anytime you allow me to, you punish me for it. So I'm gonna.
Was I actively scrolling to the bottom of the Mal list to find the one near the bottom to add? Yes, I was.
Okay, all right. For the first one.
Yep.
So for the action comedy one, where would you rate it this season? Where would you rank it generally?
Okay. This season? Personally, and with a lot of other people, this season, people rate it very poorly.
Oh, Jesus.
And me personally, as somebody who's familiar with the source material, they have good reason to be disappointed.
Okay. All right. Let's just scrap that one altogether. Don't like genre combination. Don't like the vibes of that.
Okay.
For second one, comedy romance. Removing any spoilers.
Okay.
Can you read the most recent email we've received about it, or Discord comment about it?
Let me pull them up and have a look. No, because nobody's recommended it yet.
That's info in and of itself.
Yep, I figured it would be.
Not a fucking soul. Okay.
I'll give you the bonus information. Is it started airing mid-October, so it only has like 4 or 5 episodes out at this point.
Sure, but nobody's been like, oh, this is coming out and you need to. All right, so for the final one, that is fantasy.
Yep.
Feel free to veto this question. I'll ask another one, right?
Uh-huh.
What's the hook? Like, it's blah, 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 but, like, trying to hook people in, right? What follows the but?
Okay.
Like, I don't need what comes before. That sort of sets the scene. But just it sets the scene, and then it's like, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I think this is just the most obvious thing. Has reference to Thai culture and was also produced by a very popular YouTuber.
Oh, interesting. All right. Okay. I think first one terrifies me. Get the fuck out of here. Second one, not enough info, and unfortunately, anime rom-coms have a terrible track record. They rarely succeed on the rom, rarely succeed on the com.
Okay.
So you know, let's go YouTuber with it, shall we?
Okay. You're trusting a YouTuber to make an anime?
I think having Thai influence sounds compelling and like it may be a little different. My hope is that with that and with it being a YouTuber, maybe the quality isn't necessarily there, but it's still a passion project and I'll feel like the heart. And that is more meaningful to me. And so fingers crossed.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what we aren't covering. So, there was an asterisk in front of what we were covering. And the asterisk was reserved for 2 of the 3 shows I recommended. They are all currently airing, but the first one that we covered would have actually been a revisit, and we would have been going back to season 1 of the show to finish it. But currently airing season 3 of One Punch Man.
Oh, okay.
And season 3 of One Punch Man has been nothing but a disappointment for people in terms of animation quality and design.
Yikes.
Yeah, no, people are not happy. It's not great, which is unfortunate because the manga is, like, the redrawn manga of it is one of the most, like, over-the-top pretty things out there. So people were waiting a long time for the anime adaptation, and everybody loved season 1 adaptation of Madhouse. And by Madhouse, season 2 had a pretty poor downgrade in quality altogether, but, you know, at the time, people were just it was very clear people were overreacting, and, like, while there was a dip in quality, there was still some effort being put in. Season 3, though, I don't know what they're doing to their animators, man. They must be, like, whipping them with chains while they're drawing or something, because it is just really piss poor.
Oh, but, no.
Yeah, so we would have gone back to season 1, wrapped it up, and just had a good time with that, talking about it, because the first time we talked about One Punch Man, it turned into a fever dream episode where weird shipping wars happen, and people have wanted us to revisit it for quite some time. So that's not what's happening.
Okay, all right.
So hilariously, you did ask the worst question you could have asked for it.
It's true. A nice misleading question, but that's fine.
Yep. The second one we would have watched would have been Tomodachi no Imoto ga ore ni dake uzai.
Of course.
Recognize any of those words?
Every single one of them.
So you know the English translation would have been, my friend's little sister has it in for me.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. No, hey, Rem. This one was the bad one. This one was the real bad one.
Thank you, nobody, for sending an email being like, hey, you need to show him this, and then making, like, a vague comment that makes me think you think I would enjoy it.
Yeah, no, hey. Well, now that after this episode comes out, maybe we'll get a bunch of recommendations for it just to see how awful it truly is and how much Remington would hate it.
Oh, man.
And just for reference, I'm gonna show you the picture that is, like, the cover image of it, just so you can see what you've avoided.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You wouldn't have had a good time.
Okay, I feel more and more decent about my selection. Then come on, let me hear it.
All right. So the anime that we are going to be watching today is called Bâan Otona no Kyokai, or Bâan, the Boundary of Adulthood. Most people just call it Bâan, and that's with 2 A's.
Okay.
And it is, well, I mean, Rem, this is going to be a very easy episode for us to do, and part of why I had to include it in a 3, because it's not included with, like, the standard anime season, because, like I said, it was created by a very popular anime YouTuber who has been working for, like, the past while, honestly.
So it's some good old indie shit.
Indie shit, yeah. Yeah, the YouTuber Gigguk, who I don't think we've ever talked about him much, but he is one of the fellas from the Trash Taste podcast, if that...
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm generally familiar.
Yeah.
I'm hippin' with it.
Yeah. Garnt Manitafo. Oh, and if I fucked up the pronunciation of that, Garnt, I am so sorry. He is a YouTuber who a lot of his content revolves around silly old parody videos, as well as summarizing the new seasonals in review in short form. For like the past year or so, he's been working on this anime that he's wanted to create. It's called Bâan. It is just an anime short film.
Oh, okay.
Yep, super short. One episode. It heavily features a lot of like his culture in like the Southeast Asian area, as well as being a just a one thing that Gigguk Garnt is known for is talking about isekais a lot. So this is an isekai.
I was so optimistic.
Okay, it's a short film. You can live with it. The concept of isekai alone does not automatically mean bad, my guy.
I know, and I've even look. I'm on record saying that like isekai, it has so much potential. The problem is the hyper oversaturation of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where people just phone it in and create the same exact thing a million times. So I'm hoping that there's enough factors to not do that. And if it comes from somebody familiar with just how much isekai there is out there, then surely they should know how to not make the exact same thing as literally everybody else.
Yeah. So it is Bâan is the story of our two main characters, Daichi Arai and Rinrada Rachamani.
You're nailing it.
Look, I'm doing my best, man. I am doing my best. And they are kind of like opposite sides of the coin here. So it's set in like a modern futuristic Japan, and the alternate world, which let's see, is called Euthania. And it's kind of like a fantasy fairyland type with lots of inspiration from like Southeast Asian mythos, especially of Thai origin. And the story is of these characters going to the respective opposite worlds and experiencing that, and the idea of what it means to call a place home. And the setting isn't like, oh no, I'm suddenly transported to another world. There is like an open gateway between the two worlds that they can't go through at various times.
Okay, some solid ingredients.
Yeah.
Right now, I think I'm generally optimistic. Right. The fact that it's indie, the fact that it's a passion project, I like these ingredients. But of course, it comes with possible concerns, especially like very often with passionate indie creators. Their ambitions are greater than their capabilities, and that shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I admire that quality, but it often means like a review that sounds something akin to, I like what they're going for, but they didn't nail the landing. And so I think that kind of review is the one they're at risk of having. But it's also possible I'm just like, oh god, finally something fresh and different.
Yeah, no, it's a short film. It's only like 23 minutes long, so basically the length of one episode. And part of why I include it in a episode of Choices is because, I don't want to talk about the subject matter too much, because before we watch it, there's like, it's 20 minutes. I could tell you the whole thing in like 5 minutes, and then that would be that, but that wouldn't be very interesting. Yeah. I don't want to influence your views too far, which is also why I didn't mention isekai as the genre when you... because, look, man, I wanted to give it a chance, because we got a lot of requests for us to cover it, because, as you might expect...
I mean, really, this is our colleague.
Yep. I mean, hey, Gart,
a fellow anime podcaster. Really, we're peers in a way. We're about equal,
Yeah. It's not like he's like one of the most popular anime content creators on the internet or anything. And by all accounts, a very beloved and great guy.
If you squint, right? If you're comparing us to him and you squint really hard, possibly hard enough that your eyes are shut, then identical.
Yeah, though I will say, if for whatever reason you stumble upon this, Garnt, you're welcome on our show anytime. You watch more anime than me.
Asterisk. So. We'll see how I feel about it in the second half. Either way, you're invited, but you may hate me.
You may hate
I hope
Remington
you don't. I hope I come away with a rave review. I don't know yet, though. I don't know.
He doesn't know. But we'd love to chat with you about anime, whether it's new stuff, old stuff, or whatever. it would be a great old time. Great old time. And I think that goes to any of the Trash Taste guys as well. But the thing is they're all so fucking busy being like amazing content creators and whatnot. It's hard to keep up. But hey, off chance, open invitation.
I also feel like it's the worst possible dynamic of a podcast to be invited on. Ours, where I feel like you would be fanboying, and then I would just be, which isn't like a great response. I think isn't ideal. Like it's kind of flattering, but ultimately it's like, come on, let's be professional. And then on the other end, there's me, who's like, I don't know who the fuck you are, which is also not the reaction you want to have. So we we come at it from opposite ends, neither of which are good.
I don't think I'd be fanboying that hard. I could maintain professionalism.
Well, I don't know about that, but nonetheless, I feel like I'm ready to jump in and watch it.
Yeah, no, I think without further ado, let's go straight into it. Let's go watch some Bâan.
Hey y'all, we are coming up on the 12 days of April Fools, and that also means it is time for our yearly charity drive sponsored by our friend Farmer Weeb. Rather than selecting a specific anime, like our patrons have done in the past, they've crowdsourced a list of options in one of the patron channels on our Discord, from Midori Days to Bakemonogatari. They will all be plugged into the almighty wheel to determine Remington's fate. For each patron, from each tier, not just those that get read during our outro, that changes their name to include the word wheel, Farmer Weeb will be donating $3 to the Trevor Project. But that's not all. This year, there's a bonus challenge. If Remington can get 10 answers in a row correct for a horror movie, higher or lower, with 3 attempts allowed, Farmer Weeb will up his donation to $5 per patron. Is Remington better at predicting horror movie scores than anime ones? We'll find out. And now, back to the show.
And we are back after watching the entirety of the 2025 anime Bâan Otona no Kyokai, or Bâan the Boundary of Adulthood. And tell me, Rem, what'd you think? This is probably going to be a pretty short episode because it is only a 20-minute short film.
Yeah. It's, very, very brief, just because the good old indie self-funded project, Yep. That's how it goes.
Yep.
One thing I think that is very important to make clear, it labels itself as a short film. I don't think it's quite a short film. I also don't think it's quite like an episode of anime. Look, this is, it's like a pilot or a proof of concept that I would assume has 2 goals, all right? The first goal, hell yeah, you made something, right? Which is great in and of itself. But then the second goal is to sort of show, hey, look, I can make something. So like maybe if I was given money or resources, then imagine what I could do, right? Like it's kind of hey, Crunchyroll, take a look.
I don't know about Crunchyroll specifically, because they seem to be doing some pretty interesting, is the word for it, corporate stuff as of late. So they're probably not. They're probably not the target demographic here.
I just said them because I figured they have a strong like Western side of things, as well as we've seen them dabble in more indie shit. So it seems like one of the more plausible options from my lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
But regardless, that's very much where Bâan is placed. Like it is a proof of concept. Hey, look what we are capable of. Now imagine if we had more resources.
Interesting. Okay.
And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but if you come in expecting a proper like plot or story to be told in this, you're going to be disappointed. And not just because it's only like 18 or so minutes long, right? There's plenty of short films that are around that length. But this one, it doesn't tell a complete story. It really does. It gives you a taste of something.
A appetizer, as it were.
Yeah. And so that, once again, that's not a positive thing or a negative thing. It's just recognizing what it is.
Right.
And if anybody shows up being like, oh, can't wait to watch a short film because that's how it's labeled, it's understandable to be disappointed, I think. Now let's actually get into what the fuck it is and its actual quality, shall we?
Oh, that wasn't a point of its quality at all. That was just you talking about what it is.
Yeah, that's just identifying it. That's just properly labeling it.
And that label's gonna piss people off. You know that, right?
It
you know
shouldn't. It shouldn't.
People get emotionally invested real quick, my guy.
And well, sure, and it's fine to be emotionally invested. But I mean, look, ultimately, the label isn't super important. If anything, the value of it being called a short film is just so it can kind of hide what it is, because people would be inherently less interested if it was called a proof of concept, right? It's a lot more marketable to say, hey, look at this short film I made, than hey, look at this proof of concept, and hey, any production studios, if you are interested in what you see and see the response from it, if you want to help out and actually turn it into more of a thing, or just help me make other shit, right? Like that. that's not good marketing. That's not. You gotta just say, hey, look at this short film, and then also start calling the production companies and be like, hey, studio, you, I don't know, look, people are vibing, right?
Well, I mean, this did have a studio that made it, and it did have a pair of production companies behind it as well.
Sure, but like this is trying to catch the eyes of something with more resources. And once again, I'm not even saying that that's the only goal, right? I'm sure that the creator is genuinely pleased that he has just been able to create something proper. That doesn't mean that the possibility hasn't been heavily considered nor desired that, hey, if we could get some genuine funding on this sumbitch, maybe we're actually able to make a feature-length movie, right? Which I do think, given the style, all right, if Garnt, if he is able to make more stuff, I think feature rather than series would be a better direction given what has been displayed thus far.
You think there's merit to this world that has been presented to us, that there could be more depth provided?
Yeah, yes, and I think that the depth, it would be better served in a feature length where it has a stronger focus rather than a more meandering kind of approach. And let's get exactly into why and talk about what the fuck this is. So we open up and we very quickly get a sort of split perspective, all right? There's this normal human guy who's going to Euthania, which is this fantasy world, right? And there's just this big tower portal that goes between the worlds. Meanwhile, there is this fairy who's leaving home and going to the normal world. And already this is a solid, interesting twist on the isekai formula, because it's like a double mirrored isekai, and that is pretty neat. There's a lot of room there. And already we're in territory that is not oversaturated despite being an isekai.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like somehow within the isekai field, which it's hard to find any section of isekai that's not overcrowded to shit. He was able to find the corner and be like, oh, here's a nice, interesting thing that I'm sure has in some way been done, but it's way less common, and there's a lot of room to explore that in a meaningful, interesting way. So they explore the different worlds, right? The human guy, he's getting acclimated, camping in this fantasy land. The fairy girl, she excitedly, after many rejections, gets a job at a call center and is fucking hyped for it. But sometimes her magic goes wrong. And so we just get some really neat stuff, seeing very much the humanity on display, the more mundane qualities, in a thoughtful, mindful way, which I definitely appreciate. And then we get a sort of twist about, like, I don't know, 2/3 of the way through or something, where these are not happening at the same time. And in fact, the guy, Daiichi, and the fairy girl, Rin, Daiichi sort of his happened first, and he ended up meeting young Rin in Euthania and sort of became a father figure to her. Then it was later on she decided to go to this father figure's homeland herself, right? And explore it, and then she goes back home where Daiichi has made his home as well. And she goes back, and they're just excited to see each other, and good old family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically the long and short of it, right? Very straightforward, very simple. But it does some really cool things. It explores themes that are rarely explored. I think that the idea of homesickness, this coming of age concept of having to go out on your own, either with a more literal, like, physical change, going to a brand new place, or just a more metaphorical leaving home, having to make it on your own, and that kind of notion. Finding and establishing your home somewhere else, the influence you can have on others, and then this sort of like generational culture level is interesting. All really solid thematic notes, many of which are once again underexplored in storytelling a lot of the times, and especially in anime. So already we've got a pretty fresh take on an oversaturated subgenre. Then we have a pretty fresh take on the themes being explored. There's a really nice... I mean this as a compliment, all right? I mean this as a compliment.
Okay, careful.
There's like it has a really amateur Ghibli film vibe at times, which is still a really amateur Ghibli film. That's still something to aspire to, all right? That is a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, it's just like Ghibli, because look. Ghibli's got that shit on lock, right? They're the goat at that. But it has sort of an inexperienced essence of that, where you're just like, yeah, look how they're living their life and just going day to day. The world building, I think, is handled very well because it's established, but it doesn't get stuck in the details. You're like, oh, you see a little bit of advertising for this big fucking portal, and like, hey, travel, it'll be great. And the portal is interesting in and of itself. Seeing a little bit of the magical world, and like there's at one point a bunch of fucked up creatures come in and fighting. Just seeing these glimpses, which without ever being like, I'm sure what you need is a lore dump to know what's going on. It's like, no, we get it, right? There's you got some fairy valkyries of some variety, and they're attacking some eldritch fish monsters, eldritch fish demons. I can be interested in the lore, right? But I don't need to know the lore to understand what the fuck's happening. I get it. I see it. I have eyes.
Yeah, you can see that they're trying to hatch essentially a dragon egg and protect it from the forces of darkness. And
having like 3 minutes or even just like 2-minute monologue of here's a lore dump that would amount to 10% of the runtime, that'd be an awful decision, and I'm glad they did not do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so overall, I think that this demonstrates, once again, sort of viewing it as a pilot or proof of concept, I think it's very successful on that front. It looks quite nice. It actually functions. It elicits a lot of pathos and emotion in just on a conceptual level, right?
Mm-hmm.
It shows that it is handled with deliberate care and thoughtfulness, that there is a freshness to the ideas, not in a wildly experimental, truly changing the game, just like, it's just a lovely fresh take on a familiar concept, right? And so that is exactly what I was hoping for with this, considering it's indie, considering it's from somebody like dipping their toes into it and everything, right? I was really hoping we would get that sort of fresh take, and I think we did. I think this is a successful proof of concept. And yeah, 100% somebody, some studio with money or resources or whatever, somebody produced something from him. Once again, please be a feature, because I'm worried that if it's a series, then you would not be able to get to continue a consistent quality level, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to scale way the fuck back, and which would make sense because you need it to be sustainable on an ongoing basis in that way, right? But then I think the attention to detail is what really brings it to life, and so I don't think that would work. I think just make like even if just like a 75-minute feature, that should be sort of the goal, all right?
Right.
And that would be great. And I think whether it is in this world or and I'm sure that's what most people are craving, just like let me see more of this, which I totally understand. But I also just think it works as a proof of concept for being able to make something more generally, right? And so I'm hopeful that he ends up making more stuff. I think he's shown himself to be really solid, setting solid foundations. And I would happily see what he makes next if it is continuing to be this different, this fresh, this high quality. It ain't slop. It ain't sawdust. You can tell he gave a shit.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of heart in this, is what you're saying.
Yes, and you fucking feel it, right? Once again, as a short film, does it work? Well, not quite really. There's not really an arc. There's not really a plot to tell this story that like it could have told. It definitely needed more time to do so. But as a proof of concept, hell yes, it is fresh. It's different. It's not the same old sawdust bullshit, which especially in the isekai genre is rare and rarer by the day. And so anytime we can get somebody who's not just phoning it in, anytime we can get some content that's not just the same shit I've ranted about dozens of times on this fucking podcast. Oh God, it's lovely. It's joyful. Get more creators like that, where even if it ends up being a little under budget, a little rough around the edges, I will happily accept that if it's just made with heart, made thoughtfully, and they give a shit. All right, I'll take it.
You're a big fan of indie creators pouring their hearts and soul into things, even if it doesn't turn out the way that, you know, a top-tier critic like yourself would overlay.
I will look if something is. Let me put it this way, all right? Let me put it this way. I fucking hate the Conjuring movies. I don't
hey,
like
same,
any,
brother. Same.
Even back to and even beyond just like the fact that, oh God, the Warrens, Jesus fucking Christ, because there's that level. But ignoring that, I'm not even a fan of like Conjuring 1 or 2 that a lot of people do enjoy. Sure, they're polished, right? They're really polished. That's sort of James Wan's style. He's really good at making very polished horror movies that I don't give a shit about because it usually feels by the numbers, usually ends up feeling like stuff I've seen a million times before. It doesn't add anything to it. It's just like a really talented guy phoning it the fuck in is my impression of a lot of his films. And so I don't care as much about that. Meanwhile, a movie that's in my top 4, right? The WNUF Halloween special. It's so jank. It's directed by this guy Chris LaMartina, who is nobody has watched his shit, but it's made with such care and such heart, and it's so jank and strange and delightful, and I fucking adore it, and it's so unique and different. And you can tell it's a passion project, and I'm like, yes, there we go. This is art, baby. Is it as high quality? Fuck no. No, God, no. But would I prefer WNUF over Conjuring every day of the week? Yes, so much. And that's how I feel with all my media. That's how I feel here. I would happily see something a goddamn YouTuber makes that just has some heart. Maybe it's under budget, maybe it's a bit jank, but they put genuine thought into it, right? Rather than, hey, look at this big budget made by committee isekai that's just there to be as marketable as possible. Oh God, end me now.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, we figured out your true motivation, and that's to finally have a reason to mention WNUF on on the podcast.
God, here's the thing. I know not a fucking soul listening to this podcast right now. None of you have seen WNUF Halloween special. Not a single one of you, all right? And that's okay. Even the horror heads. Yes, even the horror heads out there, you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Because nobody knows. But I just take a look into it, all right? Take a look into it. It's not for everybody. Lord knows it ain't for everybody. Unironically, like 50% of the runtime is advertisements of this movie. Most of the half of the runtime is advertisements, and I love it for it. It's so good. It's so good.
Oh, goodness. Well, yeah, so by and large, circling back around, Bâan, ultimately, you think it's worth experiencing, and more projects like this should be supported and brought to the forefront of the industry, rather than just all the cookie-cutter nonsense that we usually get with our seasonals.
Yes, and I hope that I hope that like there's generally a positive enough response where somebody with the resources looks at it and is like, sure, why the fuck not? Because fortunately, like there is that inbuilt audience, which certainly helps these types of projects actually become something. And so fingers crossed that it actually goes somewhere. If it doesn't, then hey, at least there's something with a couple new ideas. I think on its own, it's interesting and fine, right? Mm-hmm. But it shows potential for so much more.
Yeah. Well, let's actually talk about the reception a bit. And on the off chance that Garnt or Gigguk is listening to this, thank you for actually trying to make something good. We like you for that. It's very, you know better than anybody that there's a lot of slop out there. There's so much slop.
You spooked me by it being an isekai, you know? You had me frightened. If this ever becomes a feature-length movie or something, right? I swear to God, if it's like, all right, now we're in Euthania. Oh no, a level 2 fish demon. I'll fucking lose it, all right? We start talking about like, oh no, he's a class A hero. I'm gonna lose it, all right? Not every isekai needs to be gamified, and I'm happy this one wasn't, all right? This one was just, we have 2 separate worlds, and isn't it interesting to see both worlds from an outsider's perspective, right? And that's great, that's beautiful, that's wonderful. And it doesn't need clunky lore dumps or unnecessary jargon at every moment, because hey, we didn't get much jargon at all, and this felt like a more well-realized world than most of the other isekais that are like, oh no, but isn't it great when I say a sentence you don't know what the fuck it means? That's what world building is. And it's like, no, that ain't what it is at all, unfortunately.
So you're threatening to go all the way to Japan yourself and face to face if he does that.
Yeah, yes. If it's turned into something bigger, and if he falls into the generic isekai trappings, all right, I will personally go to Japan and really just interrogate what the fuck, man. You had something.
You'll walk up to him with tears in your eyes. He'll have no idea who the fuck you are, but he'll be there, and you'll just be like, "Why'd you do this, man? Why'd you do this?"
and then you know, I'll have to attack him, and then Japan will be like, "See, tourists are violent. I think I saw him kick a deer too," and it'll be like, "Oh, Jesus Christ."
I mean, in fairness, those deer are likely to kick your ass, if anything.
yeah. Look, if there's kicking happening, the deer kicking us.
Yeah, because, you know, the amount of times I've seen videos of the deer and Nara just biting the shit out of people because they weren't paying attention. It's, man, those deers, my oh my. But yeah, let's talk about the reception of Bâan. So we'll go over the mouse score, of course, but what makes this interesting is since this was published on Gigguk's YouTube channel, we do have like the watch data of the show itself, which is very interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, so currently at the time of this recording is just shy of 1.4 million views.
Goddamn.
Yeah, and about 168,000 likes. I can't see the dislikes because, you know, YouTube are cowards and they don't want people to, you know, see the ratios there. Something I've complained about for years at this point. But at that point, I would call that a pretty massive success. Sure, he has 3.64 million subscribers at the time of this recording, but just because you have a lot of subscribers doesn't mean that everybody that subscribes to you is going to watch the thing.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you've been in the game for a while.
Exactly. So the fact that, it has reached over 1 million subscribers in just 2 months is really, really cool and really awesome. And not only that, the other thing that I should mention is that he also released a little bit of a biographical documentary about himself and the making of this anime. And when people suggested that we cover this show, they were like, hey, since the actual anime itself is so short, maybe you should have him watch the documentary as well. And I considered it, but then I was like, no, we need to talk about the thing by itself without any conceptions of how it came to be.
Yeah.
But now that we've done watching it, if you'd like to go and give that documentary a watch and learn a little bit more about Garnt and how he got to where he is.
I was like, hey, that sounds like it could be plenty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's nearly a 2-hour documentary. So
I just, once again, I feel like if given the resources, there's 2 paths ahead of you, Garnt. All right. There's on one half, right? Sword Art Online. Don't take that path. Don't go down that path. That's a bad path. On the other, your name. Ooh, yeah. There we go. That's a good path to go down.
You can be a Makoto Shinkai. How does that sound, Garnt?
Look, both of those, if we're being honest, both of those are the ambitious versions of what the path represents. Yeah. But I think they're indicative of the 2 routes it could go, actually making something more in depth.
Yeah, and hey, let me tell you something. If there's anything he's aware of, he is aware of the specific quality of Sword Art Online. Considering, I'll just send you a link to his one of his most popular videos from 9 years ago. 22 million views, summarizing all of Sword Art Online in 5 minutes.
Okay, and I assume a part of that, and the reason why it's doing it in 5 minutes, is to sort of emphasize the absurdity a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah.
However, that doesn't mean that he's a hater as he should be. It could be.
Oh no, this man loves isekai.
Yeah.
This man loves isekai.
See, that's my concern. He
loves isekai, but he also can at least recognize the bad shit in isekai, which is good. But
then there might be the temptation of being like, what if I made some trash? And it's like, oh, especially if it's like, well, with the budgetary limitations, maybe I just make trash. And it's like, no, we don't need another sawmill. All right, we don't need another sawmill. We don't. Open up just a small little chocolate shop, and it may not be as successful as the sawmill you could build at the same price. All right, it may not be, but it'll be so much better. It'll be so much better, especially because the sawmill, we need to emphasize, that is a dining establishment in this context. That is a place to get food in this analogy.
Yes. Case in point, man loves isekai, wanted to make a good isekai, and hopefully that's the way we go with it. So that's pretty damn successful, all things considered. And every season he does a compilation video of what is currently airing, just to give people a brief recommendation of what they are looking into for the coming season. Kind of like what we do, just, a lot more brief.
Yep.
Much more consumable. And so we know what the people on YouTube are thinking. 168,000 views out of 1.4 million is really fucking good.
Yeah.
That's a pretty damn good ratio. Because the amount of people who actually like videos versus just watching it and enjoying it is not that high of a ratio. So the fact that people go out of their way to do that extra click is usually a good sign. But that is just YouTube. We got to talk about Mal. Rem, what do you think Bâan has on Mal?
Here's the thing. I don't think there's going to be a single honest reviewer for this. I don't think anybody will be rating it accurately. I think the only 2 types are those who inflate their rating either because, mostly because they want to support the creator, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other hand, there will be those who have a low rating either because they dislike the creator because YouTube are trying to do something, or because it's not really a short film, right? So there are reasons to give an inflated score, reasons to give a deflated score. I think very few are going to give a more accurate score, but that doesn't mean it could be in the middle or it could be on one side, depending on, I don't know how to weight these factors because I don't know his community. All right. I simply do not know. I think it's because it's going to be inherently more niche. I think it's likely that the vast majority of people rating it at all are going to be his fans. Does this, I don't know whether this has the short form curse. It's not technically short form, but it's short film. And so I don't know whether to apply that curse to it. I'm going to say 7.92 and hope.
Okay.
It could be fucking anywhere, I'll be honest.
It's true. This is very difficult because, like I said, YouTube statistics are out there in the open, pretty obvious to see. A forum like Mouth, where people specifically go to review and talk about things, you're not going to get as many usually. Considering this is technically short-form content in the grand scheme of things for a seasonal, it's not as likely to get that kind of attention. I'll tell you right now, there's only 27,000 ratings on it currently.
Okay, all right.
Which, pretty small, considering how many people have actually seen it. But with those 27,000 ratings, it's sitting nice and pretty at 7.31.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and you say nobody's going to be honest about the reviews. This anime has some of... I've seen more mixed feelings reviews on this anime than I think any other review type. Because on Mal, you can do like recommended, not recommended, and mixed feelings as like an overall review category, and then like drop your whatever score you're giving it at the end of it, just to clarify.
I guess what I didn't factor in, sort of with those middling reviews, are I like the people who were sort of overhyped and liked what they got, but it just wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it kind of end up feeling blue-balled, because I need to emphasize, it doesn't feel like a finished product. And that's why I call it more of a proof of concept than a short film. I think that on its own terms, I 100% understand being just like, where's the rest? Because it's not just a wanting of more, rather it is, this is not complete.
Yes. Yeah. And it's fascinating reading some of these reviews, because normally when I read a bunch of the reviews, I'm just like, okay, these guys are just saying words to say words. And you got a little bit of that here and there. But there are a bunch of people who feel like a genuine emotional attachment to this story. Is brief and not as put together as it may be. But the idea, like the core concept of finding the place you call home, is a touchy subject for a lot of people, and it connects with them on a deep level, which explains a lot of the high ratings. A lot of the low ratings are, like you said, just people like saying, hey, why did I do this when I could have been watching something else?
So this was it was Thai influenced?
Yes.
I assume that's his culture?
Uh-huh.
So either
aside from British, of course.
So there's British, Thai, and Japanese, because Trash Taste podcast, they all live in Japan, I think.
Correct. Yes.
I think that, yeah, similarly, just viewing it on a perspective of not just homesickness, but of moving to a brand new country, right? And then, like, what connection do you have of the previous one? I really think that it's very interesting to have it more or less end up being like Rin being the daughter, sort of the adopted daughter in this case, of an immigrant, wanting to explore the culture of their adopted father, right? Yeah. Sort of viewing their roots from that perspective, but also still having strong ties to where they were born, where they came from, and now where their family resides. And like, there's a lot of interesting stuff there. There's a lot of neat stuff there.
Yeah. You just want more.
Yeah. It's just wanting more, and to be able to, I think, one of the reasons why I'm sort of skeptical of just taking this and turning it into like a full film, there was a hook, there wasn't a story here, right? It's not really like, oh, here's the story we tell, but longer. I don't think you can quite make that work. I think that I think you might be able to do something in the same world, which would still work, right? Or you could take variations on a theme and explore similar themes, and that would also work. I don't think Bâan just longer would work.
Yes. You need more.
Yeah. You
more
need to
as
actually,
in the royal more, not just.
Yeah. You can't just extend.
light.
You need to actually add more ingredients to make it work. And it may be easier to just take a couple of the things that really worked and create something new based off of that. But regardless, I'm optimistic. I hope that this isn't the last we see of him. I totally understand if it's just, I want to see if I could make something I did. All right, it very rewarding, but also difficult, expensive. Peace out.
Yes. Yeah.
But I have to imagine that there's at least some conversations happening behind the scenes, or at least conversations trying to happen, to at least see if it can go anywhere.
Yeah. And just so that you have an idea, the score breakdown for this, like 35% of the votes are 7 out of 10 for people, which is
okay. I think I should have factored in the short form curse that I was unsure, where it sort of places a ceiling on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that is in part what's happening here, but I disregarded it because I just assumed the fanboy factor would nullify the short form curse.
Well, yeah. It is one of those things where it's like, hey, this isn't the normal content they usually make, and you have to engage in it in a different way, and not everybody is going to be willing to do that.
Well, and once again, if you're simply, I don't think that it's incorrect to evaluate it as either a short film, which it's labeled as, or as an episode of anime, which it's around the length of, right? Totally reasonable to view it in those ways, and then to be disappointed in those ways.
Mm-hmm.
I think the potential of it is rad as hell, and it plants some seeds of some really fresh original stuff. So for me, I'm just happy to see anything different. But if you want more substantial content, yeah, I think it is totally understandable to be disappointed. And I think that those people are plenty justified.
Yeah. Either way, I guess the question I have for you, man, is any chance you'd like to give more content like this a shot? Like, we don't have anything right now, and the studio that made it, Studio Daisy, they're a baby studio in comparison. They got started in the year of our Lord 2020. This is the kind of the only thing they've really made aside from a few shorts. So we've got, essentially, you want more in the future? You want more?
I want more indie passion projects. Give me that shit. Whether it's by him, whether it's by this studio, whether it's by anybody else, indie passion projects, fuck yeah. There we fucking go.
Yep. And like I said before, you're welcome on the show anytime if you want to talk about it. And if you'd like to really just give Rem a razzin based on his opinions.
We should
sure
know, on the off chance that he is listening, you probably want to stop listening around now, because we're going to transition into patron readings. Yeah, it's just because they're kind of boring. No other reason. No, our
patrons are completely normal. Their usernames are normal and wholesome and good. And people don't like listening to the weird patron names. Yeah. So if you are listening, thank you for tuning in. That's great. Wonderful.
All right, now that he's gone, hey, little freaks.
hey, you fuckers. Making me sound like a horrible human being that makes me want to die. That in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed Remington going into the nuances of an 18-minute short film / proof of concept, then please head on over to wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if that's still not enough for you, twitch.tv/anime-out-of-context, where myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly. And if that is still not enough for you, patreon.com/anime-out-of-context, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thanking this week?
I also want to say, we're only a couple weeks out, ladies and gentlemen. Only a couple weeks away. Let's see, it's not next week, but the week after? 2 weeks? Woo, baby.
Yep. And if you want to contribute to charity as well, please put wheel in your username for the next coming weeks. I think
just all sorts of festive shit happening with the podcast, with the patrons. Just all really good shit.
Yeah, because Farmer Weeb is being generous enough to donate to the Trevor Project this year, which is a awesome charity that we've been supporting, quietly for years. But now's not the time to be quiet. So we gotta... Like, now more than ever, Jesus fucking Christ, we have got to be loud about this. So yeah, adding Wheel to your Patreon name for the month of December is the best thing you can do to help with that, or donate yourself. And of course, joining the Patreon for the 12 days of April Fools, where I'm going to be suffering for 12 days in a row. It's gonna suck.
It's weird. There's a lot of weird stuff this year. There's a lot. Anyway.
There's a lot. So, Rem, who are we thinking this week?
As always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are toiling in the mines to find those hidden gems underneath. And on that list, we have Trump-sucking Bubba to the Wheel of Time audiobook while Red Pill Rollins claps giddily.
Dear God, I hope if he's listening, he's gone. I hope if he's listening, he's gone.
The wheel has spoken. The Snow Bros have a new saltine side piece, Dylan. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know if that means either.
Dylan, what are you doing with the Snow Bros? And are you the saltine side piece, Dylan? Is that you? I don't understand.
Look, man, he streams on Mondays. I don't know what the fuck he gets up to on Mondays.
Can Rum talk about the time Elisha has bears maul those kids? Gandalf wants to take Shaun's hobbits to Isengard, wink wink. Rem admitted to going to Rule 34 Renamon. Shaun blocked my cock. Hope you didn't forget about your vampire past. Princess Cialis has been kidnapped. Ryan Moody, week 25 of using my Patreon name to request code Geese. Boring Siren, Sparcy, that time I reincarnated as podcast host and forced to weeb. Remington, what was your original sin? I'm mostly alive. I'm Red Pill Dickmaster, Bunny Pumper, Glizzy Goinker, Super Soaker, Pope Groper, Child Kicker, Mega Supporter, Hater Rollins. Jesus. Oh, fuck.
I'm ruined. I'm fucking ruined.
You're in shambles. Swaraj Verdi, Jake Dent, Wolfire 56, Leonard 98, Lucky Stars, the King of Moe, fucking God. Shaun, have you ever experimented with another man? Oh yeah, you should see the dog man hybrids he has in his basement.
Jesus Christ!
Look, I was making a creative anime reference. Aren't you proud of me? Look at me.
Oh yeah, no, just compare me to one of the worst fathers in anime. Thanks, bud. Thanks.
I can't believe I made the cut for this. Wes Caden, Bento Kato, replaying the entire Anime Out of Context playlist for a third time. It really helps me sleep. Remington is right. If Shaun loves Judy, does that make him a furry? No, he would have to, if he tried to, like, dress as Judy, then I guess he'd be a cross-dressing furry. Which, hey, we're not opposed here, all right? He can do whatever he wants. 2 hours of Rem and trans Shaun making out ASMR for episode 400. Beach episode and harem supporter, right, Shaun? A Moe piece of trash. Seraphim the Shark plushie. Dylan Appreciation Day. Aisha Gudgy. Blarf. Macaroni Uchiha. Danielle Riot. The Danish Viking will conquer the world with Renoir Zoro as my navigator. Shaun ruined my happy sugar life when he told me that he would get incredibly horny during the 5th day of April Fool's this year. It's like I have to remember which one that was.
I remember what the 5th one was, and I couldn't be farther from the truth. Could not be farther from the truth.
I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. Maybe, I ain't going to say that you nailed it, but I don't know. Maybe.
I may never be horny again because of day 5.
Super Zoo, Erica McCorkle, Shaun Rollins, Link Joe Curl. Shaun wants to give Spoonman a thank and yank. Rem uses the drums of liberation free all weeps from bad anime. I showed my grandma Anne Shirley and she watched it all by herself. Did I turn her into a weeb? My Digimon is Mpreg Red Pilled Rollins. Daddy Rem, tell me that I'm sorry about Shaun's nut. Turban, the capybara is tired. I recommend playing Beyond Good and Evil 2003, a bit dated control-wise, but really fun little action RPG. 8.5 out of 10 so far. Stacy's mom, Amazing Muffin. Watching Requiem for Spoonman at 0.5 speed. King Rich Rock. Pro tips out of context to run out of things to post will come back soon. Rhiannon Williams. Titan CNH. The Susanator. Brockhard for Geodudes. This too is loss. Yandere Neko. Anime. Will the sun Kono Oto tomorrow? Bet your bottom dollar sings Misuga. She masters the show tunes for Kono songbook. That's pretty good.
I will say, we did get an email of a pretty rad fucking looking electric Kodo. It's like somebody found a picture of that and specifically sent that in an email with like no other information. They just like it quite literally. The subject line is electric Koto, and it looks like a fucking sci-fi instrument.
Tune in to our 500th episode to see the Shaun Rollins special special Kodo concert.
Yeah, good luck with that, bud.
Fern, G-Bottom, aka Bear Trap Shaun, so you don't feel like I'm biased, Rem Digivolve to Perpetual Prolapsed Anus Mon. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Christ almighty, gang. What's
Perpetual?
going on?
Perpetual? Oh, Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. No waifu, no laifu. I mean, Rem call Shaun ethnic slurs until you bring back the Chef Namusco tears. Shaun, you guelo. Boomst, Cheese Monkey, Jax, Fenrir Foxhole, Professor Fox, Jam Hands. Shaun's so Republican he crashes Grinder. Buckshin. Farmer Weeb wants Jesus to take the wheel. Ross Palmer, riding on the struggle bus. Cassidy. And now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. What are they going to get this week, Shaun?
I mean, I'm just going to give them a Gigguk video. Why the hell not?
Yeah, fair. On that list we have Melnick Suzuki.
You can have Attack on Titan in 9 minutes.
Dominai Trigun, it will red pill even Rem.
Tokyo Ghoul in 5 minutes.
Titaro just had passionate sex with Joey Wheeler.
Sword Art Online in 5 minutes.
Umbrasite.
ReZero in 8 minutes.
You know, I'm seeing his niche.
Well, you have to remember, this is niche from nearly a decade ago.
Oh, fuck.
I've sorted by most popular.
Holy shit. Oh, he's a fucking grandpa in the game.
Look, man, we're not that far behind. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, no. Umbrasite.
I don't know what this video is about, but it's probably funny. Waifus are finally becoming real.
Prem still needs to watch Bandori Tamago and Ave Muchika, or else Kasumi will keep singing Twinkle Tinkle Little Star.
No Game, No Life in 7 minutes.
That Mouse Girl.
Darling in the Franxx in 10 minutes.
Charcoon Operator number 42.
The life cycle of an anime fan.
One Piece live action or episode 400 or Rem gets it.
Demon Slayer is a work of art.
Sammy K's here to remind you that you just lost the game.
The actual top 20 anime every fan needs to watch.
And you get a Volvo wheel as a Christmas present.
Anime conventions, an honest guide.
Roscoe.
Domestic girlfriend, a dumpster fire I can't stop watching.
Wait, is he like me? Is he me?
I mean, like, I'm not. Look, the only reason I knew about domestic girlfriend
is he a domestic girlfriend defender?
I mean, he's the reason we did an episode on it. Straight up.
It's great. He did, and that amazingly, that's still one of my most surprising opinions ever on this podcast.
Yeah, no, like it is described as spicy garbage a lot in that video, if I remember correctly. So yeah, and that's definitely the case. So yeah, there you
are. Carver 271.
Trying to understand the Fate series, same brother.
Spoonman the Aristocrat is here for party quirks.
Hentai in a nutshell.
Power Cell notices that Witty Willy whipped the whirling wheel while the whistling wind whipped wildly.
Let's see. Badly explaining the entire Fate series in 30 minutes.
Monogatari is everything you ever said you want in anime. This week adds experimental visuals.
I spent $1,000 buying waifus and gacha games.
The Great Butt Ball of Despair misses you.
Fall anime 2018 in a nutshell.
Mike.
Best anime of 2021.
Beethoven 1201.
This is the new king of bad isekai.
Wheel Tums.
Do you by chance know what I could be referencing with the new king of bad isekai? It's one we covered recently.
Oh, okay, all right. I have to remember what the fuck we covered. I don't remember what we've covered. I don't remember a single thing.
Wow, and our fans will be disappointed because they figured you would remember at least how to go nuclear.
I don't remember shit, dude.
You blocked it out of your memory that quick, huh? Do you not remember the Eminence and Shadow?
Okay. God, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, who's next?
Wheel Tums.
Winter anime 2018 in a nutshell.
Silent Secondary.
Anime in 2018.
Miguel De Leon.
I got addicted to VTubers and regret everything.
I feel like I'm witnessing the formation of Shaun's personality a decade ago. I feel like
listen here. That one was only 5 years ago. Thank you very much.
Well, sure, but I imagine you've kept up with him. But I'm just
just because I watch VTubers now and am still a little cat boy on the internet doesn't mean a damn thing, sir.
It's just, I never realized that it's a possibility. I may be podcasting with off-brand Garnt.
Fucking Timu Garnt.
Timu Garnt. And of course, why would I ever realize? I would never realize because I don't consume anime media. So your secret was safe all this time. All Father offers Shaun for a purple pill to notify at least one of the many red pills he takes every day.
Bunny Girl Senpai, a show that's not about bunny girls.
All right, now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where Shaun will give an anime genre or subgenre. He'll give an anime subgenre as Joey Wheeler, and I, as Joey Wheeler, will provide a fresh new take on that genre that should totally get funded. On that list we have, you don't have to rub it in, Shaun, sad wheel noises.
Okay, you can have harem anime, how about that?
And the crazy twist for this one is we are gonna mix harem anime with death game. Start out shoujo romantic, a little bit horny, but then as it turns out, it is death game bachelor. All right?
I think you've pitched this before.
Whether I have or not, it's a pretty good idea. Next we got follow anime out of context on Blue Sky. Let's play Guess Rem's birthday. Is it July 27th? Ubauk. It is not. Look, it's a special day this year, and it's very close. Well, closer than you think.
You gotta be thankful for the good things in life, Rem. Oh, goodness. Okay, you can have horror, like just straight up horror anime.
And the brand new twist on this is we're bringing slashes to anime. We're bringing a proper slasher over to Japan, over to anime. It's gonna be great. Next we got Egotist Tits, Devil Burns Atop My Bosom, There's Tiger's Tome, Your Homemade Furry Pie. Ooh, ooh, Jonathan.
Okay, how do I respond to that?
Yeah, I do feel like I'm getting a little bit Gertrude Stein in this, right?
Yeah. Like, let's just keep it simple. You can have historical fantasy. How about that?
And it all takes place in a carafe that is a blind glass. And that's going to be great for somebody. I got a pop from somebody in the audience, but only one statistically. And last but not least, we have, I love it when Rem calls me a bitch. Do it again, please. All right, bitch.
I don't, I was about to say, I don't think we can be doing that, but
they're paying a premium for me to call them bitch.
They are. We don't even have a blue site yet. Okay, let's go with, let's just keep it simple. Let's go with a lovely rom-com.
And the fresh twist on that one is going to be in the very last episode. It's going to be very play by numbers. In the very last episode, or maybe actually to make it an actual series, what we do halfway through, after a big love reveal, right, and it's accepted and they're all together, the next episode opens up with a character we have never seen before, all right, and they're sad and they're lonely, and we learn that every episode we've seen thus far has been in their imagination, right? And just what they're hoping would happen. And their life is nothing like that. And it's sad and fucked and tragic. And they're actually crazy. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to reach out for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do 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 do. You gotta seize the means of reproduction.